I'm Rickey Gadson. Most of you know me for the ZX14R, but today we're here to talk about this motorcycle, the Kawasaki Ninja H2. A motorcycle that looked nothing like a Kawasaki. Trellis chassis, single-sided swing arm, very, very European-like. And the motorcycle was neutered to 200 horsepower. Its brother, the race version H2R, has 300 horsepower. So we all felt like the street version was getting robbed of what we thought was the full potential, which was the H2R. So by flashing the ECU and unrestricting the throttle valves and unrestricting and putting the timing back in, we were able to get the motorcycle to pick up 50, 60, and in some cases 70 horsepower. We thought that was unleashing the full power of the H2 until today. So watch today as we take this standard H2 with a Brock Stage 2 and Ghoul Flash, run it on the dyno, get our baseline, and then come back and install my Stage 1 performance enhancement and then my Stage 2, which is called a Performance Upgrade, and then a Performance Plus. Stay tuned. So this is the prime example of what I'm talking about. This motorcycle was dynoed at Chris Moore's shop not too long ago and had 251 horsepower. This is the same kit that's worth 260 horsepower on Brock's dyno. So just letting you know that different dynos read differently. No matter where you're at, they're always going to have different numbers according to what type of dyno it is, what day it is, what's the weather conditions. And mine typically reads 20 horsepower. When doing any type of comparison test, you must first establish a baseline so that you can compare your numbers to. So the overall numbers on a dyno never really matters. It always depends on your gain, the gain that you received from the time you started to the time you end. So whether it's dyno tuning for just to get your tune right, or if you're developing parts that's supposed to make more power, basically you start off with a number, and whatever that number is that you end with, you take the number in the middle, which is your gain, and that's what's important. Today we're only going to concentrate in the gains, because the RG62 Performance Enhancement, which is the next thing we're going to do, the Stage 1 Performance Kit, we're going to look at the difference between what it does now and what it does after the install. Stay tuned. Well, that'll do it. Stage 1 is complete. The RG62 Performance Enhancement has been installed, and now it's time to dyno it again and see what numbers we got. Like I said, we're not worried so much about the overall number. It went from 238 to 254, okay, but look at the curve, look at the horsepower gains all the way through the rev range. At 10,000 it has 11 more horsepower. At 11,000 it has 13 more horsepower. So at 12,000 RPMs now we're up to 14 horsepower, and it just keeps going. Now that we have the Stage 1 baseline, now we're going to go to Stage 2. It's about to get real interesting. We got stage 2, which is the RG Performance PLUS kit installed in our 2015 H2. Trying to get the gear ratios right so it produces more boost. Now it's time to actually test it. This is our gains. The gains are crazy. So if you look at down here, so now we've gained 15 horsepower there at 8,000 RPMs. At 9,000 RPMs, we got a 23 horsepower gain. No, 24 horsepower gain. At 11,000 RPMs, we got a 30 horsepower gain. This is crazy. Just look at the gains all the way up. 32 horsepower gain. 34 horsepower gain. Like, it's just ridiculous. The gains in the torque is unbelievable. 96 to 110 foot-pounds of torque. Torque is what we all feel. Here, right here, we got 15 foot-pounds of torque. 95 to 110. Got 15 foot-pounds of torque, and look, the torque is broad, so you got more torque all the way down here at 6,000 RPMs. You talking about feeling the difference in the horsepower? There's no way you cannot feel the difference. Well, we've just installed our aluminum velocity stacks. We've seen 7 mile an hour difference with velocity stacks, back-to-back tests. With the velocity stacks, it cleaned up. It gained here, it gained here, gained all the way through here, and it really started to pick up here. So now we got a 4 horsepower increase there. We got a 6 horsepower increase up here. But more importantly than that is, whereas though we were up 26 horsepower before with the Performance Plus, the stage 2 RG kit, now we're at 32 horsepower increase up in the higher RPMs. 32 horsepower from our stage 2 kit. Look at the torque. 91 to 104. That's 13 foot-pounds of torque right there. But when you look at the torque here, we got 14 foot-pounds of torque overall that it makes. So this gain is legit because it picked up torque upstairs as well as horsepower. Absolutely been a great day of testing with our Kawasaki Ninja H2. I want to thank a friend of mine for loaning me the motorcycle so that we can get a generic bike on here, one that wasn't owned by me, so that we can test our kit out. And very successful day. 34 horsepower overall increase, all in basically in between in 2 kits. 34 horsepower, 16 on one, 34 on the other one. The velocity stacks really did help out. It took some fueling changes, and that's how you know when it was really working, because it changed my fueling. I had to change air fuel ratios, come up with a whole different combination of fueling on it. It took me a little bit of time, but it was worth it. 6 horsepower, sitting still without ram air coming into the airbox, was a very good increase in horsepower and torque. So there you have it. Go on Rickey-Gadson.com website if you're interested, for all H2 owners. Our kit is up there. The stage 1 kit, which you saw the horsepower increase, that retails for $14.99, and the stage 2 kit retails for $24.99. Lot of technology, a lot of testing, a lot of development went into this.